6:43, special time of the week.
Oh, hammer time. Yeah.
Sometime we should have MC Hammer come in and do that live for you.
Oh, you just blew my mind.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'll
wild.
make it happen.
Yeah, come on, Hammer. You will? Okay, I'm going to hold you to that.
So, Incredibles 2, a lot of anticipation for this one.
Take a guess how long it's been since the first one.
4 or 5 years?
14!
What?
Yeah!
Oh my gosh, how does that even happen?
14 years in the making, the gang's all back, and here they have to take on the nefarious exploits of the Underminer, and this happens right at the beginning of the movie. Get a look.
I can't steer it or stop it, and the Underminers escaped.
We'll have to stop it for Bob, the monorail. We have to stop this thing before it gets to the overpass.
We're trying to keep it away from the building.
Thank you so much, young man.
It's just dazzling and vibrant. Brad Bird, director here, he knows how to really stage the action so eloquently. I mean, when a guy has done a Mission Impossible movie, you know the action's going to be pretty impressive, and the animation is gorgeous. Try to see this on the biggest screen you can. It's also very funny, and it picks up right after the events of the first one, so it just follows that thread very nicely from the plot of the original.
So, Thor, cartoons, you know, animated features like this have become so much about the big name celebrities that do the voices. So who do we have in The Incredibles 2?
Well, we've got the returning vocal cast that makes up the family, Craig T. Nelson and Holly Hunter, respectively, leading the way. They had to get a different voice to provide the voice for Dash, because, of course, that kid doesn't sound the same way 14 years later. But in the movie, in the second one, it sounds just like the original. And there's, of course, baby Jack Jack, who I love. He's got a scene steal.
Baby Jack Jack is back!
There's a great thing with Jack Jack and a raccoon. That's all I'll say. The new additions are Bob Odenkirk and Catherine Keener. They do a great job as well.
Catherine Keener.
Now, it's got the action, it's got the animation, it's got the laughs and things like that, but it did run into problems for me with the plot. I thought the villain was poorly developed, not very intriguing. The central premise of why the villain was doing their bad stuff, I guess, for lack of a better term.
You need a bad guy.
Syndrome in the first one was such a well-realized villain, and you found out who it was in the middle. This one, they hold off the identity for a long time, and to me, I thought it was very obvious who it was going to be, so I thought it was a bit predictable in the plot department, and it also succumbed to a couple of sequel tropes, we'll call it, where it just
Can you translate that?
It was just a little familiar, like things that they do, mechanics of the plot where they
You've seen it before.
In sequels before, yeah. So that sort of classic element was at play.
There's that thing that happens sometimes when you get, as a writer, I know you get to the end of the script, you're like, oh, I've got all these loose ends, and you just tie it up in a quick bow.
Pretty much. I also enjoyed the score too, Michael Giacchino, and you hear some of that in the clip. It's pretty rousing. Here's my thing. You really feel that it was written 10 years later, because I'm not going to say it's preachy, but I ran into this problem with Finding Dory. They really hammer home the messaging, and it felt to me at times...
Like moral messaging?
Yeah, like social elements going on today, all the kind of things we're talking about with politics, with gender identity.
Is that good or bad?
It's good, but they cram it in at times awkwardly at the expense of the actual plot of the movie. So I felt like they were so focused on these ideas and pop culture and society that the actual story and the plot of Incredibles 2 kind of took a back seat. So I wanted to go, yeah, but at the end I was like, yeah.
All right, so how many hammers?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. As you always say, a respectable 3 out of 5.
Middle of the road, you got it.
All right, thank you so much, Thor.